Namaskaram.
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 We'll get it started. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Shri Shailabhijanambura Shishram Sri Krishna Tatatmajam Sri Shailanve Devanatha Sudhya Prapta Gamantadvayam Padabje Narsimha Tataya Guroho Nyastatma Rakshabharam Vidvadvranda Chakora Chandiramaham Ramanujaryam Shraye Sriranga Sudha Madhu Samaswadayantam Sriranga Mahishi Padapankajatmajam Sulabhashrayam Sada Moda Siddham Adbhutam Bhaje Ham Gurum Tam Ranganatha Priyam Sukhasanastham Hridayabjapithe Chinmudrayalankrita Pani Padmam Shubho Pavitam Vimalordhapundram Namami Rangam Gurum Antarange Namami Yoga Samrajñi Vijayam Vijayapradam Srirangardha Sanasinam Karunam Mamamataram Guru Rupa Paranjyotihi Jyoti Rupa Guru Paraha Ajnana Mandiram Hetate Guru Vijnana Mandiram Mukhaṁ Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Vitkripa Tamaham Mande Paramananda Madhavam Yo antah pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shaktidhara swadhamna anyamscha hastacharana shravanatvagadine pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam jaityashrita santata dhvamta vidvamsanodayah prabhavan sitaya devya paramavyoma bhaskaraha Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmi Tichayachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Dadamyetadvratam Mama Jnananandamayan Devam Nirmalas Phatika Kritim Adharam Sarvavidyanam Hayagrevam Upasmahe Jnananandamayin Devim Nirmalas Phatika Kritim Adharam Sarvavidyanam Param Vacham Upasmahe Khyata Shri Ramaduta Pavanatनुभव Pingalaksha Sikhavane Sita Shoka Pahari Dasamukha Vijay Lakshmana Pranadata Anita Bheshajatre Lavana Janalde Langane Vikshitoya Veera Shriman Hanuman Mama Manasi Vasan Karya Siddhim Tanutu Jai Hanuman Jai Shri Ram. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus will commence our session today. Gentle reminder to make ourselves focused within the Ramasagaram. We all should be like machilis or the fish within the Ramasagara ocean. And in the spirit of practicing focus, we all talk about concentration, focus. I believe one thing which aids that is to be immersed in anything with trikaranas. What are the trikaranas? Manaha, Vak and Kayam. I know that in spirit you will all be following it. But in matter also, if you can follow, that will be nice. என்ன சொல்றாங்க அப்படின்னு யோசிக்கிறீங்களா? ஒன்றும் இல்லை. Turn on your videos அப்படின்னு ஒரு request. அவ்வளவுதான். That will help us to relate to you. Unless it is absolutely, something which you cannot do. I request each of you to turn on your videos. Okay. So we have been looking at the important Purushas in Srimad Ramayana, right? Which is Sri Ramachandra, Sita Mata. You will be wondering why she is called as a Purusha. Is she not Prakriti Mata? She is definitely Prakriti Mata. But when she is in unison with Lord Ramachandra, she also ascends to a state of Purushatvam. And Lord Hanuman. In that context, we looked at how Narada Maharshi describes Lord Hanuman and the first encounter between Sri Ramachandra and Hanuman in just a short half sentence. And of course, what I could otherwise have done is to look at many other sources, great Alvars, Acharyas, and the composers of music. We all know, isn't it? They all have sung about Lord Hanuman. The easiest thing to do would have been that, but the original thing is to go back to who created this. So that's the reason why I am sticking to the syllabus, which is Valmiki's Ramayana, and within that, how is Anjaneya described, so that there is no admixture or dilution in the content, and we are close to the Moolam, isn't it? We all want to get back to our roots, and it's why not undertake that journey? So therefore, as they say, we all know when we are young, we know how to write about, there was a cow which was tied to a rope and it would graze grass. And you can milk the cow, etc. Let's say that is the only story we know. And if you are given any topic, first 2-3 lines will be about that, and then eventually you talk about the cow, isn't it? And the madri in the lecture were value illa. Sundara Kandam pati solla sonna vera enathiyo solrar appdi nenachikadingo. Sundara Kandam chakkaga teliyalante manam Anjaneyani anta swarupam telusukovali. ఆయన స్వరూపం తెలుసుకుంటే ఆయన ఎట్లా శ్రీ రామచంద్రమూర్తిని అనుభవించారో అదే విధంగా మనం కూడా అనుభవించవచ్చు. ஆஞ்சநேயர் எப்படி ராம பகவானை அனுபவிச்சாரோ அதே மாதிரி நம்மளும் கொஞ்சம் அதோடைய ஸ்னீக் பீக் தெரியணும் அப்படின்னாக்கா ஆஞ்சநேயர் யார் அப்படிங்கிறது நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு பரிச்சயம் வேணும். அதுக்காக தான் இந்த டீட்டூர், வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. We were in Kishkinda Kandam, 3rd Sargam, where Hanuman took the form of a bhikshu, and on Sugriva's prodding, he took that form and jumped in front of Sri Ramachandra and Sri Lakshmana. Sampujya vidhivat veerav Hanuman Marutatmajaha uvacha kamato vakyam mrudu satya parakramo. We saw that Lord Hanuman not only jumped, tatassa Hanuman vacha shlakshnaya sumanojnaya. This is what we saw in the last class. Vinitavatu upagamya raghavo pranipatyacha. So he fell at the feet of Ramachandra and Hanuman, Lakshmana. Abhabashe tada veerav yathavat prashasamsacha. He started praising the two. And colloquially we say, a poor brahmana, if he has to earn money, what will he do? He has to go and do mukhastuti. Ungala mari irkala yarana adinaka aha. The ego will be satisfied and he will be given a dakshina, isn't it? So that pranipatanam or prashamsai comes naturally to brahmana number vechipom. But here that natural context is slightly different. For the simple reason that Lord Hanuman is a Jnani, and he will not ordinarily do this to anybody else. If you ask him to do, go and bow in front of Wali, will he do? No, he will not do. So he knows who should he propitiate, who should he praise. That is the hidden meaning here. So the introduction of Lord Hanuman, or Manohar abdinu or ivar irundar illaya, he was a great stage artist. If you set a stage and then gudichi iranginar Hanuman abdinu solli damal nuluvar illaya. So hidden behind that is the true meaning in Srimad Ramayanam, that he is a Jnani, and he knew who these two people are. Who are they? Satya Parakramau. That is what this shloka says. If you were to look at Sri Ramanujacharya's Gadyatrayam, right? One of the, in fact, he uses this phrase popularly in all the three, is Satya Parakrama. One of the Atma Gunas or Kalyana Gunas of Sriman Narayana, Satya Parakrama, Satya Kama, Satya Sankalpa. இப்படிலாம் புகழ்ந்துட்டு போவார். அதில் சத்திய பராக்கிரம அடியனுக்கு என்ன தோன்றதுன்னா, இந்த இடத்துல வந்திருக்குமோ அப்படின்னு தோன்றது. Sri Ramanuja may have picked up this Atma Guna of Ramachandra and extolled it in his Gadyatrayam. So these two are Virau, Satya Parakrama. Those are the two attributes that Hanuman sees in the two people there. Satya Parakrama. What is Satya Parakrama? Those who have the true Parakrama. Parakrama is the ability to win over others, control others, who are very powerful. And they are the real people who are powerful. If you are looking at a government, normally we say everybody is powerful. But only those who are in that power structure will know who is the most powerful. Yeah. Everybody else will know what that means. So that's the meaning of Satya Parakrama. You should have the ability to identify who has the real power. And Hanuman recognized that the first time he saw Lord Rama. And what did he do? Sampujya Vidivat Virau Hanuman Marutatmajaha. Marutatmajaha is the son of wind god Maruta. And he did a Sampujanam. That is what it means. Sampujanam naka puja pannar. Abdinaka enna artham? Oru thenga, oru udavati, oru palam, poo, ellathayum kondu he would have started puja swamigiram argyam padyam ellam kodukren. That probably would have been too dramatic, isn't it? Here Sampujanam means puja, the Moola Swarupam of puja is Atma Vandanam. And to regard the person who he is seeing as the Supreme Brahman, that is the ultimate form of puja. So Sampujya has that context or connotation here. After Vidhivat Sampujya. So of course, not to let down the people who do real puja. Vidhivatte puja pannar abdin solita. Annala whatever is required in terms of argyam, padyam, etc., probably he also offered it. But the fact is that he first understood who they are. So the aspect of puja is, சிலாத்லாம் பார்த்திருப்போம், ஒரு போட்டோ இருக்கும், ஒரு 4-5 வருஷம் கழிச்சு அதுல என்ன பெருமாள்னு தெரியாது. ఆ ఫోటో వెనకాల ఉండే భగవంతుడు ఎవడు అని మనకు తెలియదు. ఫుల్ కర్పూరం అంతా ఉంటుంది దాంట్లో. ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు ఫిగర్ అవుట్ హూ ఇట్ ఈస్, ఇజంట్ ఇట్? సో యాருக்கு పూజ పண்றమో అవ యారుని நம்ம முதல்ல தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். మనం పూజ చేసే దేవత ఎవరు, వాళ్ళ గుణములు ఏమిటి అని మనకి చక్కగా తెలుసుకోవాలి. After that only you should do puja. Only then you will actually get into the bhavam of doing puja. If you don't know who it is that you are worshipping, what will happen? You will slowly feel that, oh, ivarka puja pandren. Now muttal abdin thona arambichirum. You will feel that you are not doing the puja to the right person. So that is a hidden meaning of sage Valmiki here. Whenever the Rishi gives a medicine for us, it includes many, many different things. After doing puja is when he starts to speak kaya, vacha, manasa, அப்படின்னு சொல்றேன் இல்லையா? முதல்ல மானசிகம். He understands they are veeraha satya parakramaha. Veerau is dvitiya vachanam. By the way, there was a E and OE in my previous lecture. Okay, I had used vibhakti instead of vachanam. Prathama vibhakti, dvitiya vibhakti is the row-wise order. I should have used the word vachanam. Okay, prathama vachanam, dvivachanam and bahuvachanam. Thanks for Sharath to point this out. So here, Veerau is a statement given. Veerau means Rama Lakshmanau. It qualifies not only the Lord Rama, but also Lord Lakshmana. Both of them were indeed endowed with these two divine qualities. Adu Manasikam. Adathadu Kaya, with his body, with all his indriyas, he being a Jitendriya, he does a proper puja. Then Vacha. Uvacha kamato vakyam. He starts to speak to the two great Veeras. And in what manner? Mrudu vakyam uvacha. Okay. So mrudu means very, very soft is the meaning. So soft spoken. That softness, one thing we should understand, of course, today, you can be trained to speak in different manners in different forums. So probably he undertook training in Udemy or Coursera and he would have become proficient in speaking in the right manner to the right individual. Thank you. But there is again a hidden truth here. This Mrudu Vakyam, when will somebody speak gently? When you get out of bed, for example, early in the morning, right? You don't speak like that, isn't it? The very first thing you speak when you get out of morning is you will have cheer in your heart. And that naturally comes out. Unless you had a fight with your husband or wife in the previous night and your mind is not discarding it. Okay. முண்டம் பக்கத்துல உட்காந்துருக்கு அப்படின்னு தோணித்துனா வேற மாதிரி வரும் வார்த்தைகள். ஆனா இந்த மிருதுத்துவம் அப்படிங்கிறது இட்ஸ் a natural feeling that results in a natural form of soft spokenness. And what is the natural thing that happened here? His worship of Lord Ramachandra. He has seen who is standing in front of him. Aha. இப்பேற்பட்ட ஒரு பிரபாவான் சீதையா தேவ்யா பிரபை. The Lord has such a dazzling brilliance, and I am a jnani, I know who he is, and I have worshipped him, his holy feet. Right? What naturally comes out of that is mrudu vakyam. Rajarshir deva pratimau tapasau samshitau ratau desham katamimam praptau bhavantau varavarninau Trasayantau mrigaganane anyamscha vanacharinaha. So Lord Hanuman is speaking now about ellame avunu varudana. She is talking about both of them. Seriya? The very first, this is sloka number 5, Kishkinda Kandam, 3rd sargam. Seriya? Rajarshi Deva Pratimau. That is the very first attribute or adjective that Lord Hanuman uses for Rama and Lakshmana. Rajarishi Deva Pratimau. they look like as if they are Raja Rishis. Pratimai abdinaka, it's an image abdinartham. Or a Utsava Murti. They look, their Vigraham looks as if there are two things. What are they? They look like Rishis. Yeah. With Rishi nale beard irukano. That is what we all know. And the beard irukum. That is the first thing. Second is Raja abingra. இவர் ஏன் அதை யூஸ் பண்ணிருப்பாருன்னா என்ன இவருக்கு தெரியும் யாருன்னு. ஏன்னா அந்த ரிஷி மாத்திரம் இல்லை, அவருடைய கேட் தான் கெத்து நாச்சோ தெரியாது நம்மளுக்கு. அவளுடைய கெத்து பார்த்தோம்னாக்கா they will be having that physique which a normal a Brahmana rishi probably will not have. 6-pack body வச்சுட்டு ஒரு ஹோமம் பண்றவாளை பார்த்திருக்கீங்களா? ஆனா இவ ராஜ ரிஷி. So he has seen their physical form. So that's the first thing that he observes. Raja rishi deva pratima. ரெண்டாவது பாருங்க, he is not only saying they are Raja rishis but deva. அங்கதான் அடிக்கிறார் வால்மீகி. இதெல்லாம் கேர்ஃபுல்லா நம்ம கவனிக்கணும். Right? He sees them as not human beings. You are definitely somebody else. You are actually devas. இது யாரால சொல்ல முடியும்? இது வந்துட்டு observed and the object அப்படின்னு வச்சிருந்தோம்னா, these are all the words of the observer, which is Hanuman. And the object of worship is both of them. So you will see later what Lord Ramachandra is doing. He is also an observer. You will see later what he talks about Hanuman. Raja Rishi, Deva Pratimao. Therefore, this is one of the words in Srimad Ramayanam where Lord Ramachandra is spoken about as a Deva Purusha. Okay. Normally, you don't see reference to Ramachandra as an avatara or a Deva. So this is one of those rare shlokas. Okay. Where you get to know who Lord Ramachandra or Hanuman is. Then Samshita Vratau. So he's seeing them as both having some kind of Vradam. இல்லையா? ஒருத்தர் விரதம் பண்றார் அப்படின்னாக்கா you will exactly know that this person is following a vradam, isn't it? That person will not normally mingle with anybody. They will have a certain routine and they will follow their activities. So both of Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they appear to Hanuman as Dridhavratau. They were adopting some kind of vow. Okay. Then Tapasau, they look to be Tapasvi. Link or can somebody please share the Zoom link on WhatsApp? Somebody wants to join in. Okay. So Samshita Vratau, Tapasau, meaning they look to be tapasvis. Okay. So this is another aspect, of a jnani. He is able to see who the other person is, see through beyond what the physics tells you. So they seem to be tapasvis. And how do you recognize tapasvis? By again the type of tejas that they have. Real tapasvis will have a certain form of gambhiryam. When you look at them, in Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, there is a word called Srimad Gambhiryam. Okay. Srimad Gambhiryatoda irukar. Appadina patatopama varu. Ella dress giss pottun porar. Yarodeyum pesa maatengrar. Srimad Gambhiryam actually comes from somebody who is a Sriman. And Sriman is somebody who really understands who is Sriman Narayana. And through him, he gets that quality of Gambhiryam. Desham Kathamimam Praptau Bhavantau Varavarninau. So he is asking, Lord Hanuman is asking Rama and Lakshmana, how did you two come about in this particular jungle? You seem to be men of great origin, and it is difficult to find such people here. Varavarnino means those who are in fair in complexion. Varnam nanna irukku. Varam, varnam. That means they have used fair and lovely. They have used the cream and nanna shiny irkar. Vara varninau. Adepdi Ramachandramurti is normally seen as a Ramam bhaje Shyamalam. Ramarku varnam nijamala varnam Shyamalam nusulva. Shyamala kriti. Shyamalamna Mega varnam. And the Krishnan Sulramari Ade Kuncham Neelam Pachai Grey Idalam Kalanda or Varnam. Seriya. Appo inga vara varnam abdinaka, it doesn't mean they are fair in complexion. Okay. They have an appealing color abdinartham. Vara varninau. And he is asking the very first question, why are you here? I know who you are, but I don't know why you are here. Okay. Trasayantau mrigamanan anyanscha vanacharinaha. So the way that you are roaming around in this forest, that is described here. Okay. They are not seen as somebody who are just tapasvi and vratata anushtichindrikaran matra illa. They are also roaming around like heroes. That is what he is saying. Trasayantau mrigaganane. So you are frightening the animals that are there in this forest. Okay. That is another thing he has observed. Dinosaur adi idella irundirukum namakku theriyadu. So they are they are not at all afraid of any of the creatures there. Vanacharinaha, not only mrigas, but other animals that roam around. Okay. Probably they have described different types of species here. So that is the first question he asks. Why are you here? You seem to be somebody who is really frightening all the animals around. Pampa tira ruhan vrikshan vikshamano samantataha imam nadim shubhajalam shobhayantau tapasvinau dhairyavantau suvarnabhau kavyuvam chiravasasau nishwasantau varabhujau pidayanta vimah prajaha. So he is describing the kshetram here. Pampa tira kshetram. We have seen Pamba nadi kitta irukaravar. Pampa tira ruhan vrikshan vikshamanau samantataha imam nadim shubhajalam shobhayantau tapasvinau. So the way that they are roaming around is described here. So they are seeing all the vrikshas or the trees that are on the banks of Pampa. Pampa tiram is banks, tiram. Adila irukkakudiya vrikshaha, all the trees there, and they are looking around the trees as if they are lost or they are searching for something. Okay. Pampa tiraruhan vrikshan vikshamanau samantataha. Vikshaman vikshikarar abdinaka parkarar nartham. So somebody is looking at all the trees. Samantataha means all over. Okay. And the other important thing he is saying, Imam Nadim Shubhajalam Shobhayantau Tapasvinau. This Nadi called as Pampa Nadi is already a Shubhajala, isn't it? Shubhajala means normally we all treat Nadis as very sacred rivers. Yeah. What is sacred about rivers there? Every river has water which is H2O, isn't it? What is so sacred about rivers? There is a difference between, although they are all H2O, the origin of water in that particular river is important. So if you take tap water versus well water versus lake water versus pond water versus river water and sea water, there are so many different types of water. The important thing to note is that chemically they may all be very different. Today they are all probably the same. Everything will have magnesium sulfate, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4. All acids will be there in all these waters. But originally, imagine you roll back some 400 years ago. These waters will have different qualities. Okay. And the Smriti Granthas tell about where you should live. We talk about riparian states. People used to settle on the banks of rivers. The nature of river water. What is the nature of river water versus a pond water? Water basically flows. And wherever there is flowing water, it carries away, all kinds of malam. So if we take a dip in such a water, the water that is purifying you is actually fresh because it comes from Gangotri or Yamunotri. The source is so pure, it comes from glacier, right, ultimately, or from some hilltop where it goes through all the kinds of minerals, and therefore it provides you a constant source of purification. So that's the reason why, cleansing through river water is advised or suggested, as long as it has no factory close to it. Okay, just watch out for a copper factory or aluminum factory. But if it's a pure river water, it cleanses you. So that is the daihikam benefit of taking a bath in river water. What is the other benefits? This is the physical level. Adi bhautikam, adi daivikam, adhyatmikam. So we have three types of advantages in our culture. Every nadi in India has a name, isn't it? Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Narmada, Mandakini, Bhagirathi, etc. There are so many beautiful names that have been given. You may think these are all poetically created, but the true fact is that all these rivers have their origin in a particular overlord or a god who confers upon that river a particular power. And although the nadis are all supposed to purify you, each nadi will confer upon you certain different daivika aspects, okay, especially concerning our daivikam, which is concerning our mind. Anything to do with mind and below is daivikam. Seriya? Atayum meri adhyatmikam. Is there something there for my soul? The answer is all the rivers not only wash away your physical impurities, but also your papas, whatever sins that you have committed will get erased if you were to take bath in holy waters. And how does that happen? It's a very, very big science, deep science. I don't want to digress further. But at this point of time, let us assume that they will devolve us of all the sins. Shubha Jalam, Imam Nadim Shubha Jalam, this river water called Pampa is already a Shubha Jala. And what are you two doing? Shobhayantau tapasvinau. You are adding glory to beauty. It is already a Shubha Jala. So this is where again the Jnani aspect of Hanuman is highlighted. He knows who these two individuals are. And our Jnanigaluடைய திருக்கரமோ திருவடியோ பட்டாக்கா அந்த ஜலத்துக்கு இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கூட ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி வரும். Because they are tapasvino. So any tapasvi who visits us, visits our house, of course, this is all historic now. If they were to visit our house, if we do their pada pujai, that water is equal to river water and adi jalam. But in this context, because he is Sakshat Paramatma himself, he is adding glory to the beauty of the Pampa Nadi. Imam Nadim Shubhajalam Shobhayantau Tapasvinam. And then he talks about their qualities. Dhairyavantau, they are full of dhairyam. Suvarnabhav, Suvarnabham naka, they have dazzling brilliance equivalent to that of gold, golden idirikkinartham. And the interesting thing he notes is Yuva Chiravasasau. Although you look to be so powerful and your complexion is like gold, but you are wearing robes made of tree barks. That is what it means. Chira Vasasav. Vasam naka clothes. Your clothes are made of the tree barks. Abdin soldier. Nishwasantau Varabhujau Pidayanta Vimaha Prajaha. You indeed have broad shoulders, and therefore you are able to show your viryam to all the animals. Prajahana inga creatures. Forest creatures, they are also afraid of you. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இதே மாதிரி சொல்லிண்டே போறோம். என்ன சொல்லுவார்? சிம்ம விப்ரேக்ஷிதௌ வீரௌ மகாபல விக்ரமௌ சக்ரசாப நிபே சாபே கிரஹீத்வா சத்ருசூதனௌ ஸ்ரீமந்தௌ ரூபசம்பன்னௌ விருஷபஸ்ரேஷ்ட விக்ரமௌ ஹஸ்திஹஸ்தோபம புஜௌ द्युतिमन्तौ नरर्षभौ. He continues to talk about their valor here. Simha viprekshitou. You seem to have the gaze of lions. அப்படிங்கிறார். லயனோட கேஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும்னு தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு? கிட்ட போனா தெரியும். கிட்ட போக முடியுமா? போக முடியாது. அது சிம்ம விப்ரேக்ஷிதௌ. The look of a lion. வீரௌ மகாபல விக்ரமௌ சக்ர சாப நிபே சாபே. So they do have the bows resembling that of a rainbow. Multicolor, different types of arrows vechirka அப்படினு அர்த்தம் அதுக்கு. Okay. Then Shatrusudana, they are able to destroy all types of enemies. Srimantau, so they seem to be people who are endowed with Shri Tattvam. Okay, full of wealth. But here it means magnificent. அப்படினு அர்த்தம். Rupa Sampanno, Pakarthik, they are both handsome. Vrishabha Sreshta Vikramau, they have the power of bulls. Abhinartham, Vrishabham. Vrishabha Sreshtam, the best among the bulls. Those that are used in Spain or deep inside Tamil Nadu. Liya? Again, a pair of Maran would say Jallikattu. Jallikattu Kalayode Viram. Kondavargal, Vrishabha Sreshta Vikramau, Hasti Hastopam Bhujau. So they have the shoulders of the elephant trunks. See how many animals he has brought here. Lion, they have the eyes of the lion. Then he talks about Vrishabham, or the bulls, and lastly the elephants. Attan animals are described, all very powerful animals. We dare not go near any of these. Dyutimantau Nararshaphav, they are shown to be very bright. Dyutiman. Yeah, Dyutiman is somebody who is dazzlingly brilliant. Nararshaphav, these two people are the bull among animals. Abhinartham, Nararshaphav. Onna rendu kombu irukum. Ava kitta pokudadu. Vrishabham, Vrisha means dharma. Okay. Vrisha means dharma. And they are dharma murtis. Okay. So the among men, these are the only two people who are supposed to be following dharma, and they are the swarupam of dharma. Abdin nam artham vechukkom. Prabhaya parvatendroyam yuvayor avabhasitaha rajyarha omara prakhyau katham deshamihagato. I am parvatendraha yuvayoho prabhaya avabhasitaha Rajyarhau Amara Prakhyau Iha Desham Kathamagatou. This is the unscrambling of the same poem. Okay, same couplet. He is saying that this Parvatendraha, the Rishishringa Parvatam, is reflecting your beauty. Abdin Soldar. Okay, your dazzling brilliance is reflected by this Parvatendra. Okay, and Rajyarha, you both seem to deserve Rajyam, meaning you seem to be kings actually. But why are you? Katham Desham Iha Agato? How have you come to this forest land? Is the question he is asking. So see, one of the important attributes or gunas of Lord Hanuman is that he is Buddhiman. Okay. So, we are all very smart people, isn't it? When we ask a question, you are going to help me today, isn't it? Abdin question ketta, ava enna answer பண்ணுவா? Yes, yes தான் சொல்வா. No, very few people will say no. So these type of questions are called leading questions. You know what answer you want to expect from the other person. So you frame the question in such a way that the other person replies to you whatever you want. There is no escape for that. That is the type of question Lord Hanuman is asking. I know you are both kings. You are all so powerful. You both are powerful. You can't fool me. I'm seeing so many animals that are getting scared. You definitely are Rajya. How? Okay. Now tell me, why are you here? Okay, that's the type of question he's asking. Padma Patre Kshano Viro Jata Mandala Dharino Anyonya Sadrisho Viro Devaloka Divagato Yadrichayeva Samprapto Chandra Surya Vasundaram Vishala Vakshasau Viro Manusho Devarupino. Very important shlokas. Again talks about the origins of Lord Rama and Lord Lakshmana.
I have a question. So Hanuman goes and visits Rama and Lakshmana in the mindset of spying them, or once he starts seeing them, then he is able to understand all this. What is the mindset? I just got lost a bit.
Okay, good. It's a very good subtle question. Hanuman is a Buddhiman, so he enters this stage scene. He jumps onto the stage as a spy. So he is using the tactics and vocabulary of a spy, and is he trying to extract information, or after having jumped and having looked at the two people, is he acting like this, right? There is a script here, which is Srimad Valmiki's script here. But the person who is giving these dialogues is Lord Hanuman. With what motive is he giving is the question. Is he not normally acting? Would not a spy also do all of this? You would normally try to be as engaging, try to speak something which is very appealing to the other person and therefore extract the information. அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம், அதுவும் இருக்கலாம். ஆனால் அம்சதா மூலதா என்ன இருக்குன்னாக்கா, he knows in reality who these two gentlemen are after getting close to them, after doing namaskaram to them. Pranipatya அப்படின்னு ஆரம்பிச்சது இல்லையா? ஒரு பரமாத்மாவுடைய திருவடி போய் நம்ம சேவிச்சோம்னா, there is no other escape other than Satyam descending on us. That's the first thing you should keep in mind. He is bowing down to Satya Parakrama. And when you bow down, that will not go in waste. That will be endowed with immense power of knowledge and vision. And that is the thing Lord Rama is testing, is what I feel. Okay. That, okay, somebody has done namaskaram to me. Has my power gone into him? அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட்லயும் ராமர் பார்த்திருக்க நெக்ஸ்ட் வரும். So indeed, the moment you bow down to a jnani, if you are pure also, you will start seeing reality. That is what is happening here. I hope that answers. Padma Patre Kshanau Virau. So they have eyes that resemble that of a lotus leaf. Lotus சொன்னாலே பரவாயில்ல, கொஞ்சம் ஏதோ ராஜீவ நேத்திரம்னு சொல்லலாம் இல்லையா? Lotus leaf எவ்வளவு பெருசது. The leaf of a lotus is bigger than the lotus itself, இல்லையா? அவ்வளவு பெரிய கண்களுடைய பத்ம பத்ரே க்ஷணவ் வீரவ் ஜட்டாமண்டல தாரிணவ். ஸோ என்ன மாதிரி இல்லை, ஜடை முடி எல்லாம் இருக்கும் அவளுக்கு. ஜட்டாமண்டல தாரிணவ் అన్యోన్య సదృశౌ వీరవ్. ఒక్కరికొత్తరు, ఒకళ్ళకి ఒకళ్ళు మించుకునే లేదు. రామ is a వీర, లక్ష్మణ also is a వీర. అన్యోన్య సదృశౌ, they are looking very similar to each other. And the most important, devaloka divagata. So you seem to be people who have descended from devalokam and you have come here in front of me. Don't fool me. Okay. Yadrichaya iva sampraptau chandra surya vasundaram. This is the other important thing that Hanuman is saying. This Mother Earth Vasundhara, she is so lucky எதிர்ச்சையா அப்படின்னா லக்கீலி அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். எப்படியோ she has got you two like Chandra and Surya. Okay, samprapto, and that is the beauty of Hanuman's thing. So he actually realizes who they are. These people have not only descended from Devalokam, but they have been provided to Mother Earth, Vasundhara, as her savior in the form of Chandra and Surya. Vishala Vakshasau Virau. So you have broad shoulders and you are Virau. Manushau Devarupinau. You are actually seen as Manushyargal, Manushya, but you are actually Devaswarupi. Simhaskandhau Mahotsahau Samadaviva Gaurishau. So he continues to talk about their Swarupam. Simhaskandhau. They have the shoulders like that of a lion. So shoulders like that of elephant and சொல்லலாம் இல்லையா? ஹஸ்தி ஹஸ்தோபமௌ புஜௌ. இங்க lionsக்கு equate பண்றார். So there are many different comparisons he does. So சிம்மத்தினுடைய shoulder probably will be very, very powerful. So each aspect of the animal will be taken when they talk about the upamanam here. Simhaskandhau Mahotsaho. You seem to have a lot of energy. You both are very energetic. Utsaham irukku. Samadau. You are also majestic. And Go Vrishav. You are like bulls அப்படின்னு சொல்றார். So இவ்வளவெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு he then talks about why you are here. Explain. Please explain to me. Is how this particular sloka ends. We have again reached the end of the session today. We will continue to take a look at how Hanuman describes Lord Rama and Lord Lakshmana, and then we will see how Lord Ramachandra talks about Hanuman, how he is, and that is when you will really know the Gambhiryam of Srimad Ramayana, and then onwards we'll get into Kishkinda Kandam. Okay. Guru Charanambuja
Nirbharabhakta Guru Charanambuja Nirbharabhakta Samsara Rachira Mukta Guru Charanambuja Krishna Krishna Sendriya Masa Niyamadevam Rakshasi Nijarayastam Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate
Kayena vacha manasa indriyirva buddhya atmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai Shriman Narayana yeti samarpayami. Sarvam Shri Ramachandra arpanamastu. Have a great day and day.
Then yes, me, Anna.
Yes. Recording stop.
Thank you, Raghavanji.
Namaskaram, Raghavanji. Namaskaram.